Hi Flosstube, I'm Liz, and welcome back to Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch for a very special episode of Flosstube. It's a WIP parade. I've been making Flosstube videos for 10 weeks now, which, wow, it just feels like I made my first video yesterday, but I've made 10 of them. And I still haven't managed to show you guys all of the projects that I have going. There's just some that haven't gotten any love in the last 10 weeks. So I thought I would organize all my WIPs, line them up in front of me or to the side of me, and I'm gonna walk through them from oldest to newest. So probably when we get to the newer side of the pile, there are things you've seen in the last few weeks. So maybe the front half of this will be more interesting. We'll find out. But I want to walk through everything that I've started in the order I started it, just to kind of help me mentally reset what I'm working on, help me decide if it's a project that I think I'm going to finish, which, full disclosure, everything in front of me, except maybe one or two, is something I think I'm going to finish. None of these, have been banished so far. So, but I'll talk about that if, it comes to me while I'm holding something up, if I think I might not finish it. But I don't know. I think most of them I'll be finishing. Yeah, so I'm going to talk through what the project is, the pattern, what I'm stitching it on, the floss I'm using, anything I'm doing special. Yeah, so let me show you my WIPs. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first two WIPs I want to show you are my oldest ones, and they're both from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, and they've both been in timeout since early 2017 or mid 2007, a while. They've been in timeout a while. And the reason, well, the first one, there's not really a reason for. Let me show it to you, and everybody kick my butt and tell me to finish this in the comments. Or Mel, my sister, comment and tell me if you want to finish this, because I know you love this pattern too. Or was it Sarah? Oh, dang it. Sorry, sisters. I'm forgetting which one of you told me. Anyways, it's not done. Let me show it to you. This is the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. Oh, I'm totally forgetting now. I don't have a paper copy of this chart, so I'll put the pattern up on the screen so you can see, but it was, I believe, the 100-year anniversary of the National Park Service. And I love this. This is when I really started getting back into cross stitch and non-Aida cross stitch, so stitching on linen. I found Frosted Pumpkin probably in 2015, and I bought some kits from them that included the Picture This Plus, linen, and DMC, and I have finished some Frosted Pumpkin, but this is my oldest WIP. And honestly, I showed you the chart, but there's really just, the bottom couple inches to do, so I really do need to just finish this one because it really is cute. I think the reason I just never finished it is because, as much as I love the design, I kind of realized halfway through, where am I going to put this one? Where, what is this going to go with in my house? And honestly, I love it anyway, so I think the answer is just in the craft room probably, because it's colorful, and I love, obviously the National Park Service is great, and I would love to have this displayed. But I think that's what kind of held me back, and the reason that this one has remained in the WIP pile. So that's Frosted Pumpkin, National Park Service. Now, the next one is from Frosted Pumpkin, and I know I have a lot done, so apologies, but this one is a dead to me WIP. Is that wrong to say? And I'll tell you why. Let me hold it up first. This is the Happily Ever After Sal from Frosted Pumpkin. I believe it was the 2017 Sal. And I bought the Picture This Plus. It's kind of an iridescent. It's hard to see on camera, I think. But it's an iridescent Picture This Plus linen, 28 count, with all the called for DMC flosses. And the reason this one is not going to get finished is because back in 2015, 2016, and I guess at the start of 2017, I was stitching on linen, but I didn't really know what I was doing on it. So anybody who stitches on linen probably knows that there is kind of a right hole to start in. It's kind of where the the vertical thread hooks over a horizontal thread. And I didn't realize that when I started this project, or any of these. So the National Park Service is started correctly on the linen, and some of my other projects were as well, or I didn't notice until I completed them. So it was fine, everything was stitched the same way. But on this one, after I learned how to start on linen and had stitched a lot more projects, I hated trying to work on this because my stitches were in the wrong holes. I hope this makes sense. I think if you stitch on linen, this will make sense to you. So I would try to work on this, and I think I even did like this block maybe a year ago, but it was so painful to try and stitch in the wrong holes, and I just don't think I'm gonna finish this one. It's kind of honestly a little bit of a finish right now if I just rip out those stitches. It just doesn't have the bottom border, but I think it's okay. It's just little storybooks. Maybe I can do something with it. You know, I mean, obviously I haven't gotten rid of it. It's, you know, it's beautiful, but I know I'm not going to finish stitching it because I can't stitch this the wrong way like I was before, and it would look all mismatched if I tried to correct it now. So that is my second oldest WIP. Okay, so next up is the Prairie Schooler Prairie Garden. And I started this in mid 2019. Some of these are guesstimates. So I put June 1st, 2019 based on when I bought the pattern, and, you know, assuming I started it fairly quickly after I bought the pattern, which I think I did. So this one is being stitched on a mystery hand-dyed piece of linen, 28 count, and all the called for DMC colors. And here's my progress. I've got about 2.5 blocks done out of the 12. These are pretty stitch intensive. You know, I feel like each block was taking me several days. And I don't think I've worked on this in a year, probably since last summer when I started it. So yeah, this one probably needs to get some more love soon, or I have to make a decision on if I'm gonna keep going. So I was planning on doing the piece as a whole composition because I really liked the look of the cover piece with all 12. I'm not sure. I could, you know, just finish this third one and call it done with the 3 as like a skinnier piece, or I might continue on because I haven't even gotten to some of my favorite blocks yet from the pattern, but this is in the WIP pile from June of last year. So Prairie Flowers. Next up is the Hands-On Design Block Party Meow. She's done a lot of these, and this is the cat's one. And it looks like I started this one around the same time as Prairie Bird, so about May or June of last year. And I have this fittingly in my little padded kitten bag that I made. And here is my progress. So I think this was the halfway point. So I've got about half of the band, and then I have to do the whole top block. And I'm still on the fence about if this is going to get finished or not, to be honest, because this is stitched on 28 count Witchell Beautiful Beige, and I cannot handle this fabric. It is so stiff and scratchy. It feels like every little bend or fold I make in the fabric will be there forever. It feels looser than a 28 count. Like I'm using 2 strands, 2/2, and because I wanted, you know, I wanted the exact fabric. I wanted everything called for so I could make it into the finished pincushion as shown in the pattern. But I can't ugh, I'm being a baby, but I don't like this fabric, and that is why I haven't worked on this. That's just the truth of it. It's been probably a year since I did this first half, and I haven't gotten back to it, but we will see. I'm not getting rid of it. I'm just mulling it over. Next up from around the same time is the Prairie Schooler Prairie Birds. I got really into Prairie Schooler a year and a half or so ago. So these are the Prairie Birds, and I really liked how they had them all finished individually. So I don't even know. So I guess I'm calling this a WIP because I've stitched 2 and there's a third one on the same piece of fabric in progress. So I guess, you know, since I was stitching these individually, it's just really one little WIP and 2 finishes that just haven't been FFO'd. So let me show you what I have here. I'll do it one by one. Here is one finish. Here is another finish. So cute. And here is the one in progress. And I was stitching this on a 32 count, I think it's just a gray Zweigert. I don't remember the color name, but not like hand dyed. It's just a gray Zweigert. And yeah, so if you can't tell from the picture, ooh, I did change the colors. I kept the spirit of the colors, but I switched everything to overdyed threads that I had that matched up with the DMC's called for. So I really love this shamrock shade that I'm using for that kind of aqua blue in the birds. Yeah, it's great. So I really should just cut these 2 off. Well, I should have done it at the start of summer and finish them into little pillows, and I definitely will for next year, and then hopefully I can get this little third one done. I also had thought about matting and framing the 3 of them side by side, although maybe I should have just stitched them evenly across the, I don't know. The plan was to finish them individually, so I probably will do that, but I don't have a plan for that yet. So that is my Prairie Schooler, what's it called? Prairie Birds. Okay, so the next thing I have to show you is Country Cottage Needleworks Snow Village. I'm sure you've all, let me just pull out one of the charts, but I'm sure you all know what this is. Here's one of the charts. It's a series, and I'm stitching them all together on one piece of fabric. I started in October 2019 when the pattern started coming out, but I did not keep up. But I'll show you where I'm at. Is that all the way in the frame? Here is my Snow Village. So I am using the layout from Country Cottage Needleworks, and I'm stitching called for colors, but I am using Dove by Weeks Dye Works 36 count, and it is the old Weeks. You can see how kind of loose and flopsy the fabric is, but it's really pretty and I really do like it. I'm not sure why, I don't know. I'm not sure why I haven't stitched on this more. I have the charts. It's 1 strand over 2, which I like. It's just actually, you know what it probably is all the white. I don't like stitching with white. My stitches don't look as nice with white. I have to be a lot more slow and deliberate when I'm stitching. So that's probably why I haven't worked on it as much, but I'll come back to it eventually. I have the patterns and I have a really good start. Next up is one you're all gonna wonder why it's not done, and me too when I pulled it out. This is Hands-On Design Christmas Eve. Really cute. Here is most of it. I, as you can see, changed the colors. I wanted more red and green, so I changed, I think this is a church, so I changed the church colors, and then I think everything else I left the same. So I just really need to finish the bottom of that little pedestal, and yeah, that's about it. This will get finished this year for a Christmas ornament. And I actually do want to try her finish, her rounded finish. So I also have another one here I haven't started, but it's in the same bag because it's using the same colors. So this I'm stitching on 30 count Weeks Sanguine, with my own colors, except, well, my own reds, and then I'm just stitching it 2/2. This is Tribute to Summer, and it's in a handmade project bag. I can't remember if I've showed y'all or not, but I made this one myself. Any bag I show you is gonna be one I made myself. I haven't ever bought a project bag because I'm like, I can make them, but then I've made like 4, so I should probably start just buying them. This is Tribute to Summer Sampler by Stacey Nash Primitives. And I have this much done. So not very much. I love the white flowers in the border. That's what drew me to this one. This is on 40 count weeks cocoa, and I'm using all the called for over dyed threads. Next up is a fun one, and I can't believe I haven't worked on it in a couple of months. I was working on this one really steadily. I started it, let me see. I started it on December 1st of 2019. So I actually started this after my very first my very first trip to Needleworks in Copperas Cove. I bought all the charts and the fabric and floss, and they kitted it up for me. So let me show you my progress. I keep it in this other bag that I made. I'm sure you've seen this pattern, but in case you haven't, it's the Little House Needleworks Early American series. That's the center block, Freedom. And here is where I'm at. Finished 3 of the blocks and have started on that center block, the 4th block. I think I finished 3. Yeah. Just checking Molly to make sure she's done. I think I finished her. So yeah, I'm getting close to halfway. I gotta finish Freedom and then half of another block and I'll be halfway, so that's pretty good. I was gonna try and stay on a block a month. I haven't made that happen, but that's okay. This one's just fun to pull out and work on whenever, so I need to put this back into my WIP rotation soon because I do love it. I am stitching this on a 36 count linen. I don't know the name of it. I didn't really pay attention to the tag. They cut it. We just kind of like based it on colors because they didn't have the called for color when I was shopping. So I don't remember. It's a Zweigert base. It's got the little orange selvage edge, but I couldn't tell you if it's a hand dye or a normal color or just like a, you know, a Zweigert color. But I love it. 36 count, 1 strand over 2 with all the called for flosses. This one is Heartstring Samplery Stitcher's Resolution. And this one says, when in doubt, always buy more linen and thread. Stitch all day and absolutely no housework allowed. Always start a new project before the last one is finished, requiring a return to number 1. Which is so true. So true. I want to hang this one up in my craft room when I get it done, but I just have a little start on it, I believe. Yeah, not too much so far. This one is on a 36 count cream Zweigert. This next one is in one of my favorite project bags I've ever made. I clearly love these strawberries from Kimberly Kite of Ruby Star Society. So I've used them in a lot of projects. And then I love these speckles that I have on the back. So this project you would have just seen in my most recent Flosstube episode. And it is the Blackberry House by Plum Street Samplers. And here it is. So pretty. I'm excited to work on this week. I am stitching this one on a 40 count light, vintage light exemplar from Lakeside Linens. And I'm using all the called for flosses, just stitching 1 over 2. Okay, so for this next one, I think this is the only chart that I'm working on that I don't think I've seen anyone else ever stitch, haul, mention, or talk about. And it's from Little House Needleworks, so, and it's new. I started this one, let me see. I started this one on February 25th of this year. So that's when the pattern was new. This one is a Tumbleweeds, Division of Little House Needlework, Old West Dry Goods. If you are stitching this or you know somebody who is, let me know, because I love this chart. I've only made a little bit of progress. I want to get back to it. I love it. And oh, I have a needle with thread hanging off. Let me tuck that away so it looks nicer before I show it. Okay. Here is my progress. I just got that top border done, some clouds and a bird, that big cool sun, little cactus. I am stitching this one on 32 count Pearl Barley by Lakeside, and I am stitching 2/2 with the called for flosses. I will say 2/2 is really puffy on this 32 count. I don't know that Lakeside necessarily has a tighter weave on 32 count than others, or maybe it's just because I'm so used to 1/2 on 36 and 40 that I'm not used to such kind of like puffy little stitches. Is that a thing? It's beautiful though. It's really good, thick, dense coverage. I love it. So I need to get back to this one at some point. I have a thing for cactuses. You know, living here in Texas, loving kind of the Southwest, I have a lot of cactus themed things in my house, and I just love this kind of Old West desert thing. There's some cactuses in this, so I think this would match a lot of my home decor, and I want to get this one finished and displayed. Okay. Next up is one you all know and love. Oh, let me pull the random. Oh, is anyone else with long hair? Oh, you can't even see this. Get those long hairs that fall onto like the underneath of your arm and make you a crazy person until you can find it. Okay, I'm all better now. This next one you've all seen and loved many times. I'm gonna say love just because, you know, who can hate a Christmas stocking? This is my Cooler Designs Studio stocking for Rob. And actually, I feel like I need to show the one I made for myself. I'll do that after I show you this one, just for fun. This is Rob's stocking. It is the Holiday Study in the Heirloom Stocking Series from Cooler that you can get. These are still available as PDF downloads. And that's where I'm at with the stocking, trying to get it done this year. All the called for DMC on the called for 25 count Mushroom Lugana. Okay, and then just for fun, because I've only showed this once, I think in my very first video, and I've got a lot more of you guys watching my videos now, which thank you. I'm so glad y'all are here to listen to me ramble about stitching. But let me show you my Christmas stocking that I made. I love this thing so much. This is again from the Cooler Design Studio Heirloom Stocking Series, and this is the Stitcher's Studio, which if you cross stitch and quilt, knit, you need this stocking. If you don't have a cross stitch stocking and you've been looking for one, this is it. I'll try and zoom in on you here. So this is a little cross stitch sampler stitched over one on the wall of the studio. It's so cute. This is another little art piece that's all stitched over one. All the fabric on the bookshelf, the quilt on the wall with the sewing machine, a little lap stand or floor stand for embroidery or needlepoint. Look at the gingham cat. The gingham cat is my favorite for sure. Like the little sewing kit with the tape measure and the little knitting basket with the embroidery hoop, and even the braided like fabric braided rug. Yep. I know this isn't a WIP, but let me hold up the stocking side by side. I'm just excited to share them because I'm getting really close. No, I still have like 25% left to do on Rob's, but I cannot wait to have these both done and hanging up this year. Oh my God. Don't screenshot that, YouTube. Oh, I love these. Next up is Consider the Lilies by Heartstring Samplery. And I started this one in April of this year. And let's see. Here is where this one is. I haven't made any progress on it since I showed it to you in my a couple videos ago, but it will get some love at some point during Sampler September. Yeah, so I'm stitching this on 40 count Winter's Brew. Where's this Beach Brew? Hold on. Winter Brew. 40 count Winter Brew. All the called for colors, 1/2. I also keep my favorite pair of scissors in that project bag. They're the Ginger brand. I love these little gold scissors. They're so sharp. This one is the Drawn Threads Sunnyside sampler. And this was, I consider, my gateway sampler. I know it's not a super traditional one, but I still count it as a sampler, and obviously so do they. And I just started it recently. Let me look at my list. June 1st of this year, so just a few months ago, I started this. I had kind of waited forever to start because I was kitting up the NPIs, and you know, they're a little pricey, so, and it needs a lot of threads. So NPIs and Dinky Dyes, and they're both lovely to work with. I love working on this project. Why am I not working on it right now? That's the problem with doing these WIP parades, is that you just look at all your stuff and wonder why you're not working on it. It's because I keep starting too many things, but that's okay. Here is my progress. So cute. There are some specialty stitches, and there is over 1 stitching for the small words that go across the top. And I love it. It's super fun to work on. You know, I love Drawn Thread. I think I'm their #1 fangirl. I love all their patterns. So another beautiful Drawn Thread I can't wait to get back to. And I mean, the main reason I can't wait to get back to is just the beautiful silk threads. Oh, I love them. They're so pretty. This one, let's see, this is a 36 count raw natural Zweigart. That's what, and just 1 strand of silk over 2 linen threads. Next up is Little House Needleworks Music and Books. And here is what I have done. This is a small one. I don't know why I did, 25% of it and walked away. Well, I mean, I got distracted, obviously. But yeah, this one should only take like a day or 2 of stitching. I should really get back to it and finish it. This is, I believe, a 36 count. I don't have the fabric name listed. I believe it is a Zweigart, so I think it's just one of their, maybe like mushroom or mocha Zweigart colors. And then I did do my own floss conversion. It was mostly DMCs, or maybe it was all DMCs, and I converted to overdyes that matched the DMC colors. Next up is one that I started at the start of the summer, and I thought I was looking to get it done so quick and get it displayed for the summer, and it didn't happen. But that's okay, I'll have it done for next year. It's not too big. It is Berry Days at Thistledown Farm by With Thy Needle and Thread. So pretty. I'll show you the colors too. I mean, well, I'll show you my progress first, but then I don't have that much progress, so I'll show you the colors because it's beautiful. Here is, oh, still have my thread hanging out. Here's what I have so far. Love it. And here are the floss colors. I am using all the called for colors, including, there's 1 DMC in there. they're just so beautiful. Oh, I need to get back to this and finish it, but it might not happen until we get closer to next summer. Love it. Oh, and this is also on 36 count raw natural Swigert. All right, I'll warn you now. I think the rest of these you've probably seen pretty recently, but I'm gonna show all my WIPs to you. So next up is Ink Circles After the Roses. Ugh, I love this. Love. Did y'all watch Lindy Stitch's video? She, I think it was maybe a week ago, she has started working on this and she's working from the center out. And I kind of wish I had done that because I've basically gotten like a top square done and now I'm just gonna repeat all the same stuff over and over again. Whereas I feel like it would have been maybe more interesting or fun to kind of work from the center out. But that's okay. You know, I just didn't think about it when I started this. I've never stitched kind of like a mandala type design before. This is my progress on After the Roses. I'm stitching this on a 40 count Vintage Maritime White by Lakeside Linens. So pretty. Oh, I need to get back to this. Am I gonna keep singing? Yeah, all the called for floss. I even backstitched top. Like I was gonna lose my place because I was actually worried about that with these mandala designs, but it's fine once you get going. I was like, oh, I mean, I always start in the top right corner. Why I would know where I'm at, but it's okay. I had fun with it. Love that. Almost done. All right, you've all seen it. You all love it. I hope I love it. Land That I Love by Teresa Kogut. I definitely need to get back to this one soon. It's only been a couple weeks, but I'm having withdrawals. Withdrawals? Land That I Love by Teresa Kogut. CW Samplers. And here is my Land That I Love. And I love it. Hasn't made any progress in the last couple of weeks, but I feel pretty good about the progress I've made so far. I've stitched on this one a fair bit over the past couple of months. I believe I started this one on July 7th. I was hoping to start it that 4th of July weekend, but just the charts were, I didn't pre-order. I will not do that again because I just like, oh, I'll just buy it. And then, you know, everybody was filling pre-orders and it was hard to get a hold of at the time. So yeah, I really want to get back up to this motif with these awesome red vines with blue flowers. It's like a big urn thing sitting here. Oh, I love it. This one is the Blackberry Rabbit, The Visitor. Here is where I'm at. This is on 40 count Seraphim Fabrics Dusty Road with all of the called for flosses 1/2. And I love how much this looks like a watercolor painting. It's beautiful. Next up is the Prairie Schooler Animal Alphabet. Here is this one. Halfway through, just need to do 3 more letters for little Andrew. This one is on a 28 count Swigert linen. Well, let me see if I have it written down. Ivory Swigert linen with the called for DMC colors. Here is Oh Joyous Day by Blackbird Designs. This one I started on August 2nd of this year. Ooh, I'm gonna stab myself with a needle. Love. I just watched Nicole's Needleworks latest video and she just finished hers. It's beautiful, so motivating. I need to get mine done. Love, love, love. I'm stitching this on the 36 count Picture This Plus Legacy with all of the called for flosses. My next one is Merry Christmas from Blackbird Designs. This is the one I showed you a few weeks ago that I had over dyed some Lakeside Vintage Wild Rose with just to deepen it up a little bit. And this is 40 count and I'm stitching with the called for flosses, 1/2. And I just have the border, the outside border done and was working on filling that in. My next WIP is Santa's Trips by Barbara Anna, and it's a digital download, so I'll put the picture up. And here is my little start on it. I love it so much. Can't wait to get back to this and give it some more love. I did a conversion to NPI from the called for DMC. I just really wanted an excuse to stitch with some more soft and lovely NPI, so I did it on this project. And this is a 40 count vintage maple syrup from Lakeside Linens. And those are my flosses. All right, the next one is Christmas Garden that I started last week for Sampler September. And here is the progress I have on Christmas Garden. Got a really good start on this upper right corner here, and I love it. I am doing my own floss color conversion. I have used, let's see, Ruby Slippers and Bee's Knees from Weeks instead of the called for red and gold from the pattern. I am using the green and the brown. And this is a 36 count sand from Picture This Plus. That brings us to our last start. The last one. I started this September 5th. Is that Friday? Yeah, that was Friday. It's the Drawn Thread Almost Halloween. And here she is. Oh my gosh. Love. I'm stitching this on 32 count vintage pearl barley with the called for DMC and Threadworks and some kind of fancy specialty floss that it's mostly in the witch's hat, but there's a few stitches of it. And the cat's collar, it's a sparkly green floss. And I love this. I did backstitch the skeleton to make him pop out a bit more. I saw Deb's version of this on her most recent Flosstube, and I really loved how much her skeleton popped out. And I think I might backstitch the W as well. We'll see. But yeah, loving this. I think I'm like halfway through it. I can't wait. I'm gonna have this finished and displayed for Halloween this year. I actually even already put my initials in the year. I'm ready. I can't mess it up. Also, okay, can we talk about initials for a second? I don't always include them in my pieces. I don't know if you always label, date, name your pieces. I don't. This one had it charted and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna put it in. So my initials are ET, which, you know, ET, phone home, extraterrestrial, you know, since I was a kid, that's been, you know, my initials have meant extraterrestrial, not my name. It's fine. So my two character initials don't bother me that much, but my full initials are EAT, Elizabeth Ann. So EAT. EAT are my initials. And I am working on Christmas Garden that I just showed you. And I mentioned in my last video that my plan was to put my mom, my sisters, and myself, all of our initials on the sampler. And it's all three letter initials. So that means somewhere on my Christmas garden, it's gonna say eat, which is fine. Those are my initials. But does anybody else have initials that spell something that make them not want to put it on things, to monogram things? I'm gonna do it. I've never stitched my full 3-letter initials on a project, but it's going on Christmas garden. It's gonna say eat somewhere on there. So if anybody else has weird initials that make a word, I feel your pain. Anyways, random side note. That's it. We made it to the end of the video. I have shown you every cross stitch WIP in my house. Yeah, I have a lot of them. I think it's around, oh, let me check, 25. It's 25, which is a lot. I think I started the year with maybe 12. So I have driven that number up dramatically. I finished a bunch of things this year, but I've started even more. I've started a ton. Thank you guys. If you hung in with me to the end, thank you. I feel like there should be a secret code word, like if you made it this far into the video. Yeah, I had so much fun. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you if you came over here from Pam and Steph. They gave me a shout out in their video on Sunday, and I've noticed some new subscribers and commenters, so hi. Welcome. I'll be back to my regularly scheduled programming on Sunday. Thank you all for joining me. See you.